What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 110 Instant Reaction post-game show in partnership with Adidas. I'm here with a very mixed panel. Some guys feel okay about the result, 3-3 with the Galaxy. Some people are very upset. The guy right next to me is very upset.
Very upset.
That's your hard? Is that your hard look? Where's your? Oh, whoa.
Smolder.
Yeah, Connor's upset.
I'm very upset.
I think a lot of you might be upset too. I'm sure you're in the chat already chiming in. We're here to kind of take you through how we felt about the game. Like I said, it's a mixed panel here. Some guys are very okay with it. Some people are very upset.
Yes.
Philly, I'm not sure. I can't get a read on you yet.
A point is a point.
You're just going to jump out of your chair.
And I'm going to jump out of my chair
probably
because
not
there have been a few things.
Good for the frame.
Yeah, maybe not good for the frame. But there have been a couple of things that occurred very well today. Look, it's never great to concede points at Banc of California Stadium, but it's never a bad thing to score points. And quite honestly, we haven't been fantastic over the course of the past 7 games. I can't say we were awful today.
I mean, I'm going to throw this out to the chat. Result aside and your fandom aside, if you can do that, I know it's very difficult. Was this spectacle exactly what you wanted from a rivalry game? Because I would say if you could just pull yourself out of it, this was pretty incredible.
No. Don't give logical answers. Pour your heart out. I want to hear your feelings.
No. We've got plenty of show for them to pour their heart out.
Is it family friendly, Connor?
Yes,
because
it
we
is.
could do
Yes,
it
it
that
is.
way.
We've got plenty of show for them to pour their heart out. But Connor, you rebuttal to Philly. Because I feel like you're the exact opposite energy of what he just brought, standing up out of his chair.
Look, I feel like with LAFC, they always like they claw their hooks into you, right? And
Yep.
they pull you in. They give you a little shimmer of hope, and then they just crush you.
Yep.
Wow.
Time after time, and it's like, in a way, if we lost like 2-0, 2-1, not like last minute equalizer. I don't know. I feel just
not lose.
I know we did not lose,
Okay.
but I feel
JR, I'm glad that you're next to him. Like you two,
emotionally
this middle pairing right
crushed.
here, there might be some fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of times that LAFC has just crushed my heart is too many times.
But it wasn't already broken from all the losses earlier in this.
It was. You know, actually coming into this game, I thought that I was so numb to LAFC losing so much that I actually probably wouldn't care if we lost or
still
draw.
didn't
and
lose.
then in the beginning of the game, I know we didn't lose.
Okay.
But winless streak.
Yes.
Winless.
Yes.
He's not wrong.
This is our
is it 8 games
which
now?
game? It's
Yes.
8 games now.
8
games.
Winless. And you know, I just coming into the game, I actually got really hyped up about it. I started caring like way more than I could have thought I would have.
Okay.
And just to
Just when you
Marco.
thought you were out, they pulled you back in. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Okay, guys, if you're new here, you don't know how this works. After each game, we're here to kind of talk you down off the ledge lately. But we're gonna take you through the game, and we do it in a fun way sometimes. Headlines, stock up, stock down. So we're gonna go straight to the headlines. I'm gonna go back down to the end there. Philly, you kind of already gave your headline. Please stay in your chair when you do this. But what is your headline for this match?
My headline is sometimes the goals come in, sometimes the goals come out. Look, we didn't play.
What does that mean?
I mean, interpret it as you will.
Okay,
so
please, no,
it was
please.
a tie game, and some people will interpret it as a loss. Maybe my interpretation of it was weird in plenty of ways, but I'll tell you what, there were several good things that came as a result of this matchup. Brian Rodriguez, somebody who we've talked about jokingly in many of ways, stamped his name on this match. If it wasn't for a couple of plays, Brian Rodriguez would have been a hero. Chicho Arango, a person that we brought on thinking that he would score goals, came in, hit that PK. There was some really
Ask Diego for that, too.
Can I just say, let's focus on how you said would have been a hero. I just want to put that out
Well,
there.
I would have said would have been a
I just
hero.
wanna say
You
that.
let
I
my
just
lot
wanna
of
say that.
emos
I just
going
wanna
on
say
over
that.
Here's the deal.
a long headline.
It's a point. It would have been better if it was 3 freaking points.
Right.
But it was a point. And you know what? At this level, at this point of the season, I'll take this point, as you said. And I will happily look into the fact that Brian played his best game ever as a member of the Black and Gold. Chicho Arango stamped his name in the scoring column of the Black and Gold. We
I think
conceded
they write it in,
3 goals.
not stamped.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. No,
It's
you're
all
doing
good.
great.
Look,
No, I get it.
we
I love
conceded
it.
3 goals, and it's beyond frustrating to end up with a tie. But you know what?
Long headline.
People, it was an exciting matchup. It's pretty much what MLS wanted. It's the LA had what they wanted. A matchup in which no team really won, no team really lost. It was a really exciting game, and, well, We had some of our players that came through in the clutch, some of our players that didn't do things over the course of the past couple of seasons. And you know what? I'm really proud of Brian. And that is my take. Brian did things that Brian hasn't done in a long time, and I'm going to shut my mouth up.
You are a stream of consciousness. You are just going and going, and I don't want to stop you because you keep stacking up the points.
I'm so happy Brian scored freaking goals, man.
I think your biggest point is that, though. It was a spectacle. This capped off the All-Star week, everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a big week for football in Los Angeles, and I think that this lived up to every ounce of what we hoped it was. JR, I'm going to go to you now.
Yeah.
Try to be succinct.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
No, yeah.
You can go. You can go.
Look, my headline is simple. MLS won today.
Okay.
The
Fans
MLS
are not
wins.
gonna
No, they're not. But you know what?
LAFC fans are not going to.
Don Garber right now.
Max Bredos is sitting over there. He hates.
No, look, Max is up here. Come on over, Max.
What are you guys, Don
on over.
Barber and
Come on
Dan
over.
Cordemonch over here?
No, no, no.
We got
listen.
Carlos
We got a very
Catalan
special-
over here.
I'm not happy about it.
We got a very special guest.
Look,
It's Max
I'm
Bredos.
not
Max,
happy
you're gonna have
about
to
it.
yeah. You really got to get in the frame.
But
there.
here's what I will say. I'm not happy about it. But if you asked, if you asked Don Garber how he wanted this match to go,
He got what he wanted.
Scripted by Hollywood writers is what this match was. Typical LAFC frustration.
How does that benefit us?
It does not.
Hey, Max, you know
Typical
Don Garber pretty well. What do you
frustration.
I know. I've dined with Don Garber.
Well, I mean,
How
we
many
don't all,
dinners
we don't
have
all
you
have
had?
that
Pay for the
access.
tip.
We don't all have that access. But here's what I will say. Should LAFC fans be happy about this? No. We gave up points leading after the 80th minute again. But if you want a headline, MLS won the day because, look, if you're going to put a nationally televised product on, if you're going to get fans hooked into MLS soccer, when everybody's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, everybody's talking about where Kylian Mbappe is going, everyone's talking about world football. If you're going to get people excited about Major League Soccer, this is great. If you're going to get LAFC fans excited about LAFC football, this is not.
Well, I will say this.
I mean, there was no Carlos Vela or Chicharito in this game, though, so MLS can't be
Will
happy
we
about it.
ever see that?
I don't think we'll ever see it. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have
Of
lost
course.
this game late. It gets a little hairy, so I think when you've lost, 4 games in a row?
Wait, you came in hot, and now you're the
Well,
voice
it's
of
just
reason?
because I wasn't coming in hot because of the comment like, hey, MLS is happy, but this is an LAFC show.
Totally.
We're all very disappointed, and the thing that bothers me more than anything is this incredible performance by Brian Rodriguez, and it didn't lead to the victory.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
those are the things that Brian, you have him engaged, he's feeling good, he's about to go represent Uruguay, he's going to come back with his chest puffed out, and now it's like,
Well, Max, since you're here, do you have a headline? Yeah, just take that mic.
yes, the headline is, when you come to this stadium for a big game day like this, you've got to dress to impress. You have
Where did you
got
guys
to
learn how
look
write
sharp.
headlines? What is going on here? That's the longest headline I've ever heard.
You've got to look sharp.
Are you
Dress
upset about my
sharp.
shirt? Is that what this is?
Is it
Yes,
dress sharp?
I'm a little upset about
Is it every
dress
everyone's
sharp.
crazy for a sharp
Dress.
man?
The
Is that
headline is
headline?
"Dress to Impress," because this is an LA event. This was incredible in there. I
Yeah.
mean, again, we can sit here and talk about the result, but being in there was just electric. And this has been a good. To your point about MLS, it's been a great week for these rivalries. The Hell is Real game yesterday was really
Hey, no
good.
cursing on the show, please, sir.
Oh hell! Look what he's wearing.
I still don't understand
what is
what you're
he-
saying.
what-
It's
what
just-
is he
it's
wearing?
North End.
Well,
What
it's
is it?
based on an adult film site that has that graphic.
We don't know what you're talking about.
I'm supporting the heartbeat
know.
of
People
Bank
know.
of California Stadium.
If you know in the chat, get at us. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max Bredos.
I'll be back if
Bye,
I hear
Max.
anything I don't agree with.
We'll be
Max
here.
is, Max is just kind of
sure
watching
he's
over
happy
us
in
as
a
a
couple
guardian
seconds.
angel.
We'll see him in a minute.
Look. If you come to an LAFC match, sometimes Max Bredos is out here just hovering over you as a guardian angel to watch over you and tell you how to think. Connor, what Max said there, one thing he said was, we're not going to talk about the results, but literally we're here to talk about the results. So do you have a
Yeah.
headline that has anything to do with the result?
Yeah, what's next?
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
Thank you,
Max
Max.
Bredos likes that.
Thank you, Max.
It's like Martin and Rowan's laughing
Could
right
you,
now.
could you elaborate on why you feel that
I
way?
think everyone expected a win today would mean kind of a turning point to the season. And I think in a way it is. We put on a good performance. To both of your points, Brian Rodriguez played well, hasn't really done too well before. But because we didn't get the 3 points, we didn't break the winless streak.
Yeah.
The unknown for me is how will the players react? How will the coaching staff react? How will the owners act? coming into the next stretch of games.
Yeah, there's a couple days left in that old transfer window.
So it's not necessarily about the game itself, but for me, there's more unknowns now than there would have been if we were to win or lose.
Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to my dude Freddie, who is stuck in the parking lot. Can't get out, and he's watching us.
Hey, Freddie.
We're with you there, buddy. We're helping. We're
What
here
up,
to help
Freddie?
You. So normally from here we go to stock rising and stock falling, but I'm going to change. I'm going to flip it a little bit because something happened today that was quite simply amazing, and I can barely put words to it. So I hope you guys can.
Yeah.
That goal from Brian Rodriguez. I've already said to a lot of people that that's already in my top. I'm moving it farther. It's a top 3 LAFC goal vault.
Absolutely.
Maybe even in top.
Weaving through Trafico.
Yeah, JR.
Breaking
For the goal.
ankles.
Weaving
Second.
through
Max Fredo says second.
Max says second behind the Carlos Vela
Carlos Vela
Houdini
against
goal
San Jose.
is what I
JR,
have.
Put some words to
Okay,
what you saw.
I want to tell you that what I saw was the actualization of all of the talent, all of the skill, all of the gifts that we have been talking about Brian Rodriguez having. That was it. Right there. We saw it. He dribbled through, 3 defenders, put it high and tight like we've seen Carlos do, once or twice. It was exactly the skill that we knew he had. And I'll just say, I'll quote, I think it's Dennis Green. He is who we thought he was on that goal, right?
Dennis Green.
But I can't say that I'm still as optimistic as you guys.
No, but he
just
did
the
it.
goal. I
But he
understand.
did
Uh-oh,
it.
Brandis is coming back.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Dennis Green.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings.
We are who they thought we are.
He is who we thought he was.
Oh, boy.
I just modified it a little bit.
It's the second best.
It's gone completely
Falling
off
off the
the rails.
rails.
I
Second
best
apologize
goal.
to everyone watching. I'm doing my best.
Second
to
best
host.
goal, and I will say another bright spot. We scored more than 2 goals.
We did.
Yes, for the first time all
Yes,
season.
thank you.
and we
That is the
somehow
bright note.
still-
Okay, that's it.
Did not win.
Yeah, and somehow
That's
still.
it.
And we somehow still did not win. For the longest time, LAFC's biggest problem was scoring more than 2 goals and still somehow losing or tying.
Baby steps.
Look,
Oh my
we have a
God.
new biggest problem for LAFC, by the way.
No, we have a couple problems.
Right.
But let's.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
I think the fact that if this was a tie and 3-3, I'd be okay. But the fact that we're going to lose 4 players to international duty.
Yep, that's a
is the
great
concern
point.
One of which
because
is Brian
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
One is with Brian Rodriguez. You're losing when he's coming out here.
Yep.
I think that's the concern. You have Sporting Kansas City at home. Without those 4 players, hard to imagine you're going to beat a team of that class.
And still no
9
Carlos.
days, Real Salt Lake. I don't think they'll be back by then. So is it the 8th of September? That game's on the 12th? Maybe.
Maybe.
And still no
hope.
Carlos.
And still no Carlos.
no
So I don't know if they can do something out of this team, if they can get something out of Sporting, if they can get a tie with this, now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Without those players. But there's that opportunity here. So if everything was in place after this game, I'd feel a lot better. But the fact that we're probably going to take an L on Friday, not necessarily, is what's concerning.
Max, you bring up a good point. I'm going to go to you, Philly.
That's all I do.
I've worked for this guy for a long time. It's like his first good point.
He's been doing this for a while.
No, Max brings up a good point that basically this is kind of we don't know what to think of this quite yet because what happens in the next game? How do we get out of this 3-3 and what do we do in the next game? So Philly, if to Max's point, is it really, can we judge this team more on the next game or are you going to kind of wrap it up now from this game?
No, I mean, it's impossible to judge his team by any games because there's so many circumstances in which things change. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of players that are going to be out for international duty. We play next week against Sporting Kansas City. Shortly after that, we're going to play against Real Salt Lake. Who's going to come through? Who's going to come forward? I don't know. We were actually running on a really good pattern.
Defenders of the Bank might have to come out and do some defending again.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid defenders of the Bank do any defending. This team's going to concede as many goals as the Galaxy does over the course of a regular season. But here's the deal. There was a lot of positives to take out of this matchup. Brian Rodriguez, an individual who we've
look
talked
at
about
this.
for a long
Stefan's the best.
Thank you, Stefan.
Stefan
Got
has
Max a
moved up to
chair.
the top of the list of my favorite 110 football employees.
I still want to see
Just
Max
ahead
with a
of Ben.
wig on his
Stefan,
head.
not going to lie, I was kind of hoping Max would just go to the sunset deck. I guess he's here to stay.
I feel like it's
I
like
lost
an
my
Eagles
train of
reunion.
thought.
I love guitars.
No, but I think the bigger point is, so we can take maybe a positive out of this, but we can't say it's a for sure until we see
No.
the next game because we need a trajectory.
There is nothing for sure about the way our season is going. It's been an inconsistent season all day long, but you know what? You got to find some sunshine in a level of darkness. And if anything, look, Brian Rodriguez scored 2 freaking goals today. Brian Rodriguez was awesome. Chicho Arango managed to stamp his name in the scoring column. And you can't deny any of that. Whether or not that's going to propel the team going forward, IDK. But here's the deal.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Oh, come on. I know you know what IDK means.
Okay.
Don't give me like this
All right,
I don't know like acronym
Well,
stuff.
let's move forward. Let's do stock rising, but let's do it a little bit differently because does anybody have a stock rising that's not Brian Rodriguez?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
The 3252. At the end
Homer.
of the day, regardless of the good times or the bad times, the 3252 constantly gets out there and does what they do.
And they make incredible T-shirts.
They make incredible T-shirts. That's an incredible
Do
T-shirt.
not wear this
Not
if
gonna
you're
lie.
going to school. If you were like in 7th or 8th grade,
They make
do not
incredible
wear this to school.
T-shirts. Look.
JR, who would have been yours?
Ooh.
Oh,
Not Brian Rodriguez.
my stock rising is Chicho Arango because I think the fact that he took the PK, right? We've got
Asked for it.
Yeah, we've got veterans on this club. We've got Diego Rossi, we've got Edward Atuesta, we've got people who might have wanted to take that over Chicho Arango, but he stamped his name early in this match, and I think it was really important for him to get off the schneid, to put his name, to write his name into the goal scoring books for LAFC, and to show the confidence that he wanted to step up for that. I really enjoyed that from Chicho Arango. Not much else from him in the course of the game, but
Still having trouble with those shooting boots.
right. But I really enjoyed the PK.
Okay.
So that would have been my stock.
Max, do you have a stock rising that's not Brian Rodriguez?
My stock rising is afternoon games because when this
Wait,
game.
how is it not Brian Rodriguez? Guys, the answer is
You said
Brian
anything.
Rodriguez.
Well, you said
No, I didn't
not
ask you-
him.
I
You
didn't
said
ask
it was
you to.
not
I didn't-
Brian
no,
Rodriguez.
I didn't ask you guys to come up with one. I said,
Okay.
does somebody have one that's not Brian
Let
Rodriguez?
me broad
which
this
I
out.
did.
But the afternoon
but
game was
originally it
good.
would've
This
been
was a good
Brian. For sure.
afternoon game.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, it was good. It felt electric.
Bob doesn't normally feel that way.
I know. Well, if you saw the fans on the, there were
him a
some
mic so
empty
somebody can hear.
seats. No, I have a mic. Mic's working, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if you see the fans on the east end of the stadium,
Yeah.
a lot of empty seats.
Covered in sun.
Covered in sun. But if you look underneath on the concourse, they were all there to stay away from the sun. It was packed down there. So it was a good afternoon game, and it feels good because now we have the rest of the evening to find some things to do,
Also-
which I'm sure we'll find some trouble. as
Also,
well.
no
Yeah.
midnight stabbings.
And look, also
Stop it.
heavy police
What
presence.
just
got dark.
happened? What
Well,
just
no, I'm saying because
we'll be
good, it's an
late
afternoon game. Oh, yeah.
stabbings. Got it.
Hey, there's always a couple hours till we get to that. Max, people in the chat are saying they can't hear you as much because your shirt's unbuttoned so much.
Not true. All the buttons are where they have to be.
You know what? I'll
The question is, what
Can
is
you
his
tell me why Brian
Manscaped?
Rodriguez is the stock rising, and that is the correct answer? And I'm sorry
It is the
for
right
throwing you
answer.
guys out.
It is the correct answer.
I still think
saw
the
the goal.
32
There's not much more to say. He
Sorry.
played great. He bagged 2 goals.
Yeah.
And
While he was doing that, all I
Wait.
could think was, Brian does this. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna beat that guy. He'll beat that guy.
Yep.
Oh, it's in the net.
Right.
And that was, to me, was like the moment where it was like the moment of clarity. He just came. He had complete consciousness and came through in that moment.
I'll just say one honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
Although we conceded 3 goals,
Okay.
Thomas Romero had a fairly steady performance. I think the goals that he conceded couldn't have been his fault.
I don't know.
I think he could have saved that second one. That Jovic goal, I think it was. He had to get down quick, but it
What
wasn't.
was the one
it wasn't
Galaxy goal
fizzling.
that could have been avoided more?
All of them?
This-
The
first one.
first one.
The first one,
Oh, well, yeah,
the
he
ball
first one
off
for
of
sure.
Moody
That's,
for
that's
sure.
Romero has nothing to do with that one.
Right.
No, I'm just saying
Right.
in general, it's like when you're trying to fix things defensively, that was a glaring weakness. The team
Well-
came from behind and took the lead back.
Yeah.
Well, look, everyone in the chat is waiting for us to get negative, so let's just do it.
get
Yeah.
negative.
Let's get the stock falling.
I'll start it off by
Oh, yeah,
saying
you will.
by saying that this year we've all been kind of praising the defensive efforts that this team has been putting up because offensively it's kind of been an issue. But I gotta say, I just feel like today that was the glaring issue. I thought going forward, this was the first game where that wasn't too much of an issue. We scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
Defensively, Marco coming in off the bench. LAFC prides itself on having good depth, whether
They
that
had good options off the bench. I would say that the subs were the correct ones. Now,
Yeah.
players have to go do their job.
but whether it's Raheem Edwards,
Right.
whether it's Marco Farfan,
No, thank you.
enough time has passed where I can formulate opinions on these players and say maybe they're just not good enough for this level of play that LAFC is trying to be.
Wow.
So
It's,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you're being very fair there as well because it's happening, and this may be just an age thing, just kind of getting your legs. They're thrown into the deep end here and they're trying to do those things, but I think the left side defensively is just something that has to be
And
shored up.
and
'cause it keeps coming
Palacios
back.
as well. Like
He's been great moving forward, as we said.
he
Similar
was
to
great going forward. He was
Similar to
very good.
Brian, you can see good moments, good ideas, but then it's just the execution sometimes. It's just not there in this season. And, at one point he lost his starting spot to Marco Farfan. Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah. You're really doing work on that mic.
Yeah.
I feel sad. I just feel sad. I need cookies and milk.
Oh, says the man boy that just turned 18. I love it. Max, you kind of did your stock falling. Is it also the left? Is it the left side?
The left side defensively, it's just been a sieve, and we gotta.
And it's weird that it doesn't matter who it is. If it's
doesn't
Marco
matter who
there,
it is.
Do we
Edwards there? Like just something is going on with that left side.
Okay, hear me out. Why not try the old? Remember when we had all those injuries last season and El Munir was on the left side? Why don't we try throwing Kim out on the left?
Hey man, Italy did it to great effect with Spinazzola,
Yep.
right-footed, left-sided guy.
Yep.
Spinazzola now the best player in the Serie A.
And imagine Kim Moon-Hwan being the one cut in on his right.
Hey,
really?
poor
We're having
Spinazzola
those
did his Achilles,
conversations?
guys, and he should have been the best.
He should have been the best player in that tournament.
Put some
Absolutely.
respect on it.
Absolutely.
JR, what was your stock?
Look, like Verizon and Culver City, there was just no service on any of those set pieces. It was really frustrating to
Max,
me
you see what I have to deal with?
to watch.
Unbelievable.
I'm
I
just
get
gonna
you on
keep
Mondays. I get
going
these
through.
guys on the
It's fine.
weekends. This is
So for me to watch
your cell phone service.
Verizon. That's how I know they have no service in Culver City. So, no, I thought that our service, we had so many opportunities. Look, we talked about it on our podcast. I said we needed 20-plus shots.
Yeah.
We needed a pepper bond. And I thought we did, but I thought where we were lacking was that set-piece service, whether it's off of corners, whether it's off of the free kicks that we had.
Specifically set
Yeah, we just had no service off of those
It
free
took
kicks.
them a while
and
to
set
get
pieces.
going. I mean,
Yeah.
we had no shot on goal until the penalty.
Right, and then all of a sudden
it
we
coming.
started playing
You
downhill.
would think they would just run it back from the All-Star game.
Well, and right?
Just do that.
That's the thing. Atuesta looks so good most of the time on these service, but this match we didn't have it. We just didn't have service, so we couldn't get any quality chances off of those set pieces. That was the toughest part for me.
Freddie in the chat's got stock falling Murray, and I gotta agree with him. I mean,
Murillo?
at this point, Murray with the mistakes that are always seemingly to end up in the goal. That's a little bit unlucky, but it just keeps happening over and over. It's like you're 10 yards out from your goal, just clear it, man. Don't get cute with it.
You shouldn't be relying on Eddie Segura to
Eddie Segura can't help you out.
He's not walking through that door.
No, he's not going to help us out the rest of
Box
the year.
defending in general.
So you've quoted Dennis Green,
Yeah.
and now you're quoted Rick Pitino.
There you go.
You got that one.
I can't say I'm a fan of my podcast.
Herm Edwards
but-
and you're good.
Does anybody in the chat know who Rick
Playoffs.
What's a Rick Pitino?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my
Philly,
Lord.
Not to be
stock
confused with
falling?
Richard
Please
Pitino.
don't use it. Yeah.
I mean, what can I do to top what this man just said? He pretty much summed everything up that I thought in my head. Like, it's just, we come across that 80th minute hex. We go out there and we take care of business. We make everybody in the stands excited, and then, we score goals, we concede goals. We score goals, we concede goals. We score goals, we concede goals. That was the case of this entire matchup. 3-3, that's exactly what happened. And what is it about the 80th or the 90th minute in which we run into a hex? Constantly, we run into these issues. Back in 2018, it was the same concept. 2019, something similar. 2020, it was what it was. 2021, we're seeing remnants of all these past years. Why can we not close out a game? Is it discipline? Is it fatigue? Fatigue makes a coward out of a lot of people. But what is it about these latter minute goals?
Quoting Shakespeare.
Yes.
I'm not trying to quote Shakespeare.
You're quoting Rick Pitino.
He's quoting Rick Pitino. Hey,
Max,
whatever.
do you have a thought on what is it about late games? I mean, I feel like they do it in different ways.
Fatigue
So
does
it's
make
hard
a
to-
coward out of people.
It's hard
That's
to
my
put a finger
thought.
on it. The teams.
Could
I
it
don't know
be
if it's
fitness?
fatigue. They're very fit.
They are fit. It's what the product is. It comes away from all of that. It's going to just do a number on the team's confidence because you could just see them all drop again. And this time they found a way. They gave up the 2-2 goal and they battled back. And you're like, good. That's what you're supposed to do. But even then, you said, this team needs to score another one. When Diego Rossi had a couple good chances, you go, you've got to score here because Matt Doyle, I saw it tweet and I got all angry because I said, first of all, I wish I tweeted that, but I couldn't, obviously, with my connection to LAFC. He said, LAFC is going to give one up here. And I looked at it, I go, it's going to happen. And then I looked at it, I was like, he was right. And there's just something systematic about it, and it's going to take a bite out of this team because they know it's instilled in those last 10, 15 minutes, this fear that they're going to give up something.
Well, like I said, the worst thing that LAFC does is give us hope. It's reeling us in.
From Ted Lasso, right? It's the hope that kills you.
I really worry about it.
And then
You're
just
18
killing
and you're
us.
already talking like this.
Pretty jaded.
I know.
I was a much happier
Well, at least he's
kid.
taking one hand off the mic, so maybe he's walking off the
Not gonna
ledge a
crush
little
that
bit.
mic.
Look, we've been rather pessimistic for a little while, but we can't deny the fact that there's been a lot of positives that occurred today. Again, somebody who we pretty much thrown under the bus for months, maybe years, Brian Rodriguez. Brian Rodriguez came to play. And if Brian Rodriguez continues this performance, this is a good thing going forward for our club. Chicho Arango, a guy who was an assassin in the Colombian First Division, finally gets on the board. If there's anything we've said throughout the course of the past couple of weeks is LAFC is suffering from confidence. Chicho scores. Brian Rodriguez manages a brace. In some cases, he could have put more of a dent in this matchup. There is a lot of positives that come as a result of this 1 point.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, and maybe all of you can answer too. Brian scored 2 goals today. The transfer window in Europe is open until Tuesday. Is Brian going to be on the team after the 31st?
I hope not.
Whoa.
Ooh, I have the exact opposite sentiment. I hope so. I've heard too many rumors about Diego Rossi, Edward Atuesta, those guys leaving. I want to at least be able to have something in the chamber going forward, because I don't know.
But is Diego going to go then?
I think Diego and Edward Atuesta.
It probably should.
The rumors are out there.
I just
right?
I just feel like just ship them away now, and then we'll regroup either at.
So you're giving up on the
Off-season.
season? Wait a
No,
minute.
not necessarily giving up on the season.
We're
but,
right there on the playoff line.
But come the end of the season, will we get the money we want for players like B-Rod, Rossi?
Well,
Contracts are going to be up?
B-Rod's price, I mean, even a small sample size, it had to have gone up because that goal is going to go viral if it hasn't already.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
people had said, you want to talk to Brian Rodriguez, look at this goal. And then you can even say on the back end of what he did the last 2 weeks where he played well, you're like, all right, Brian Rodriguez had a bad patch, and now he's looking like the Brian Rodriguez that people were talking about for $20 million, $25 million.
All I'm
confidence
saying
has
is I'd
gone up.
rather just get over with it now
Okay.
than wait till later.
But if Brian's gone and you guys are saying probably Diego, probably Edward, it's going to be, there's not a lot of options
Cupboard's
to
bare.
bring people in.
Well, then
Covers
you know
there.
what? Chicho put a goal in the back of the net, so if anything, his confidence is going to be high, and he's going to be somebody that we're going to rely on going forward.
But are we a
I don't know.
playoff team?
But I'm
Are
not
we a
saying,
playoff
is
team?
it going to
We're
look pretty?
not a playoff team.
Not if you
There's
lose
still
those
several
3 guys.
games. If we lose those guys, I don't know what the heck is going to happen.
Right.
We don't know what the heck is going to happen. Maybe we could have this conversation on Friday when we play against the next club. But as of right now, if we do keep Chicho, obviously we'll keep Chicho. If we do keep Brian, which I'm thinking he's not going anywhere because prior to today, I'm sorry, Brian was a depreciating asset. He really was. We hang on to him. He keeps that confidence. Moving forward, he's going to be our guy. Diego might go. Edward might go. But we've known this for a while.
Yeah.
Somebody has to go, I think,
Yeah.
by our 31st, because then it'll
Somebody has
feel
to
weird.
go.
I
Look,
feel like we've been mourning Diego Rossi now for like a month or two. We've seen
still
the
very much
writing on the
alive.
wall.
I thought Diego-
He is very much alive.
He played well.
I thought he
mean,
played
was
okay.
stretching the field time again. Some decisions weren't great, but he played really
Does
well.
anybody think Rossi stays?
I do not.
Look,
I hope-
has
No,
he
just short
played?
answer.
Look,
We
no.
gotta
Yes
move
or
on.
no? Yes
no,
or no?
hold on. I think yes, and I'll tell you why. Because he hasn't played that well over the course of the past
That
couple
is-
of games.
I
All
don't
right?
No, because the
Agree.
price has to be right. They're not going to give it to him below
No, they're not
market
going to
value.
get exactly, and I'm
But are
going
we
to agree
going to
with
let
that.
him run his contract down?
Yeah,
Would
you
we
don't want him
rather
to
do that? Would
But-
we rather do that?
Wait, this is
I
a
think
much
they
longer
would.
conversation than we can have, guys. For the intrigue of the chat, the transfer window does close on Tuesday, the 31st, I believe at midnight. So keep your eyes peeled. There could be some movement.
Is it the
Guys,
domestic or the international?
It's the English, or not English. It's a European transfer window.
We can't bring anybody in.
We can bring people in that were out of contract when our transfer window closed.
Right. That's
We'll leave it at that. Okay, guys, we're going to kind of wrap it up here, so I want to get some final thoughts. I want to go to Bredos first. You got a final thought? I'm coming to you last. You better have something good.
Time is running a little short. Time is running short for this team, but it is a forgiving league, so we got to keep going. But there's been enough positive signs. Obviously, the late game goals is something you have to alleviate, but it's not a team that's quit. At any time we see this team, you're terrified that the body language drops and they're like, okay, they're disengaged. But it hasn't happened yet, and hopefully it doesn't happen on Friday.
Yeah, it's like Monty Python. We're not dead yet.
We're not.
JR?
Look, to quote Monty Python, "'Tis but a scratch today," right? For me,
God.
you're welcome. For me, what we saw today was the embodiment of the play that we have been missing for LAFC on the offensive side of the ball, right? Unfortunately, we have to play defense as well. But LAFC kind of announced their presence back as one of those offensive juggernauts that we have been missing. Now, the hard part is, like you mentioned, we have to follow that up with losing how many guys
Yeah,
to
people can be
international
sold,
play?
but for sure they're going to international,
Right.
one way or the other.
Another sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
another
go ahead.
bright spot of what LAFC's business is doing is those two Ecuadorian players were kind of unknowns. They're both now in the Ecuadorian squad.
Absolutely.
Sifu is elevated.
Yep.
Chiqui's starting for Ecuador in many ways. Those two guys are going to be incredible assets.
Yeah, and Rossi got his first time with the Uruguayan national team while he was with us. Look, LAFC looks very good in terms of the international market, right? Because what we're doing is developing this talent, or at least giving them a stage to shine. But what's going to be hard is now LAFC fans, the supporters, have seen us score 3 goals and look pretty good, again, offensively. Coming back for the next 2 matches with Novella still and all these guys leaving, you wonder how it's going to help the confidence of the LAFC supporter base as well. Because these next 2 games, like you said, could be rough. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you got to be in it for the good and the bad. So.
Absolutely.
Philly, what's your final thought?
Look, Vela is not a part of this roster. Vela is hurt. Vela is not going to be part of this roster for a fair amount of time. So what that means is next man up. And if there's anything, there's plenty of young guys that want to step up to the plate and take care of business. That's what it is at the end of the day. Sure, we're losing plenty of players in international duty. But again, I have to say that even though this was a tie, this was a win in a lot of circumstances because it boosts the confidence of several of these players. Again, Chicho Arango did his thing. Again, Brian Rodriguez did his thing. Will they be with our team in a couple of weeks? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I still think that we have an opportunity to at least claw our way into a playoff fixture. And at the end of the day, MLS is a very forgiving league. And all
I think Max Bredo said that.
And all we
It was a good quote.
And all we need, yes, again, Max Bredo's quote. And all we need is to string together a couple of wins. We make the playoffs, and then it's anybody's game.
Back-to-back wins at any point here, and you're in 5th, 6th place.
Yeah, we saw what
that can happen very quickly.
we saw what 3 wins in the month,
Got
in
us to
July
5th.
got us all the way up to 5th.
If we can get a win.
Hey,
That's
hey.
Again.
I'm coming to you for your final point. You're capping this one off, so there's a lot of pressure. What do you got?
So there's a lot to be down in the dumps about.
Yeah, you've made that very clear.
That's, like I said, 8-game winless streak.
Yeah.
That's not
long
good.
time.
Okay.
But I will say, this season is probably the most non-LAFC season ever. I keep going over and over in my brain that we're living in an alternate reality. In the real reality, we won MLS Cup 2019, and then we went on to beat Tigres and won the Champions League final.
Are you writing a Marvel movie?
No, but that's how
Is there an actual reality that we're missing out on somewhere
that's
else?
how LAFC's story should have
Also,
gone.
by the way, when I was joking about talking to the mic like that, I was joking. Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's how LAFC's
Shaving.
life in seasons should have gone. That's not happening, and this season's probably been one of the craziest.
So then what is the
and worst. And
lesson from that?
The lesson from that is I'm going to give a little prediction.
Okay.
Because stuff has never gone our way, how we wanted it to be, how it was supposed to be written.
I see this coming. Here we go.
We should have won MLS Cup that year.
Yep.
We should have won the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yep.
We shouldn't win anything this year, I think, across the board. But what's
that.
going to happen is it'll be inconsistent. It won't be the best, but we're going to scrap our way to the playoffs and scrap our way to MLS Cup.
Can I say?
Wow.
In 2005, and
I kind of wanted to go out on that bomb.
Okay,
but yeah.
but he's right. In 2005, the Galaxy squeezed in the playoffs. I'd worked for them back then. They went
you
through
just
the
outed
playoffs.
You just outed yourself.
Listen. I had to
What?
I had to take that gig so I could get this gig.
There you go.
Slipped in the playoffs and went on to win MLS Cup.
So that's what's going to
All
happen.
right.
There's a precedent.
Well,
Because it's not what should happen. And LAFC, nothing ever happens the way it should happen.
Okay.
So that's what's going to happen.
Well, I like your no. Don't do that.
Mic drop.
We have nice little mic things now. Don't do that.
Yeah, very pretty.
The grimace mics.
I like your point.
Thank you.
And what we can count on is that there's going to be more content coming your way next week. And it's going to start with me and this guy over here. Tuesday is the Max and Vince podcast. Max, have we gotten a big
Tuesday.
guest yet?
Oh, it comes out to you.
It comes out on Tuesday.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
I think
but we could.
I think we
Okay.
got Justin Bieber.
We should probably not do that on the air. Maybe we'll do that offline. But we'll have
Yeah.
a big guest. Tuesday, Max and Vince podcast. And then Friday, of course, is the big show and also a virtual tailgate day because we're back here at the Banc for SKC, guys. So we'll see you there for that. Of course, we'll have the post game after that as well. For all my guest
you.
hosts here and Max, I want to say thank you to everybody. This has been the 110 Football Instant Reaction Show in partnership with
Thank you.
Adidas. Thank you guys for being with us.
We're like the
we
Oak
hope
Ridge
that we
Boys
helped you
on
out,
tour.
especially for you guys that were stuck in the parking lot. Hopefully we gave you some good content as you were waiting for the parking lot. And thank you,
Bye-bye.
Philly, JR, Connor, Max. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank
You, Vince.